I established a premise, isn't it? As a Muslim, I believe this is from Allah. And you said, don't you question that? And I said, no, because I believe my Creator knows me better than I know myself. Yeah? Now so my premise has to be, the Quran is from Allah. Right. Now, if you want to challenge my premise, Bismillah.
See, I can't, me personally, I couldn't join a faith without questioning.
You have to question it. Well, the point is this, once you've questioned it, recognize it as the truth and embraced it, then you don't question Allah.
We questioned it.
I can ask, why has Allah done this?
I know he's questioning.
No, I can question, why has Allah done this? Why has He told us to do this? That doesn't mean I don't do it. I don't think I know better. If my premise is that the one telling me is the one who created me in the first place and knows me better than I know myself.
Give me an example of the Quran giving you a good example in life.
Okay, obviously don't drink alcohol, don't gamble. Just an example. Don't deal in interest. Credit cards, debit cards, mortgages, loans, one good day pay loans, all this stuff. Store cards. Live within your means. No, the interest is. Yeah, Africa's in debt because of interest. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the world is.
Yeah, subhanAllah. So it's a poison in the society. See, if you didn't have interest, you couldn't sell houses for millions of pounds. Yeah, it's a fiscal system and the interest and all that causes that issue. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean we're Muslims. We live in caves and we don't use money. We have to, but we have to make moves of what we can do. But the guidance is there, and also we have example of Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, who is the Quran could seem abstract. You see, it's not a man. But Muhammad is a man, and he is the walking, talking Quran. So he'll be implementing what the Quran is saying. So we have a man that we can relate to, not a god or anything, a man. And we can try and adopt his stances, do you get me? It ain't that difficult. There's not that many things you need to start. If you become Muslim, first thing you do, obviously, I'm giving an example, we don't drink alcohol, don't do drugs, we don't sleep around, we don't deal in interest, we don't eat haram food. Look, in Islam, it's very, very simple. We're not extreme. Okay, that might sound weird to that. We're not extreme. So, for example, if you're starving to death, you can eat a bacon sandwich. All right? If you're dying of an illness and the only illness the only medicine you can take contains alcohol, you can take that medicine. Okay. So if you have a disease like, I don't know, MS, for example, and there's some benefit in cannabis for that illness, I personally don't have a problem if a drug is made containing that property. What I do have a problem with is just blazing recreationally, to get stoned, to get out your face. I'll say it again. See, what does Allah say with regards to alcohol? Okay. Allah says there is benefit in it, but the harm is greater. But it doesn't give you the example of the benefit of alcohol either. Basically it just says, even though there's some benefit in it, the harm is greater. Basically the harm outweighs the good. So whatever benefit you think you're going to get from this thing, the harm far outweighs it. Now, that I would assume would apply to cannabis also. Forget that. We don't even need to go there. We don't even need to go there. The point of the principle is this: we believe that the guidance that comes from our Creator is the best guidance for mankind. We believe that. Yeah, and I'm not going to question that because I believe it's from my Creator, and I believe my Creator knows me better than I know myself. He knows how I work, what makes me tick, and what benefits me and what harms me. Now, if you want to challenge, again, I'll say it. If you want to challenge the premise as why I believe that, that's the only thing that can affect my belief, isn't it? Now, if you want to challenge that premise, Bismillah.
I can't challenge that premise.
You can say it's a book written by a man. You can say that.
Yeah.
Who did Muhammad say give him the revelation?
He said that angel Gabriel.
An angel came to him.
Yeah, wasn't it Gabriel?
It could have been. Let's say an angel. Okay. So, I did this earlier, I don't mind doing it again. There's 4 variables here, isn't there? Either he's telling you the truth, and an angel did come to him, or he's lying to you and making it all up, or he's crazy delusional, having visions of angels, or he's been deceived by the devil into thinking it's an angel when it's really Satan in disguise.
As if the devil exists.
Exactly. Well, are you an atheist, would you say?
I'm confused. Like I said.
That's good. So basically what it is, you see, once you come to this, what you have to understand about those 4 options I gave you, one of them has to be the truth. Now, right now, I'm saying he told the truth.
And I'm saying he didn't.
Well, no, you haven't made a claim yet. Which one are you going with?
That's my claim.
Which one?
I've just made it.
Which one?
He's not telling the truth.
So he's lying?
Yeah.
Deliberately?
Yeah.
All right, so he's not crazy? No, and he's not deceived.
Well, lying is deceiving.
No. A deceived person thinks they're telling the truth.
Yeah, because they're not telling the truth.
A deceived person thinks they're telling the
He's
truth.
deceived, you mean? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And a crazy person thinks they're telling the
If I
truth.
think he's lying about the whole situation.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
I don't
If you want to make a claim he's
see
lying.
part doesn't really make much sense.
No, if you say he's lying, that means he knows he's not telling the truth. And as soon as someone knows they're not telling the truth, they're not crazy or deceived. It means they're deliberately doing it.
Yeah.
Is that your claim?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't know much about.
But how can you make that claim then? You can't make that claim.
I can't make that claim.
How can you?
How can you make the claim that he's telling the truth on the same basis?
Because I can dismiss the other three.
How?
Okay, one, deception by the devil is only brought up by what? The Christians. According to the Bible, the devil can't do what they claim he's done. Can't divide himself, oppose himself, attack himself, curse himself. According to the teachings of Jesus. So we can throw that away. Okay.
What if we don't go by the teachings of Jesus?
No, well, then there's no
You think
deception.
that actually he can do them things.
Okay, the only person who'll make that claim is the Christian.
Yeah, but I don't listen to them.
So you can't
I'm
make
a
that. So,
blank page.
right. So if you're going to make that claim, yeah, you need to support your claim.
I don't. I need you to prove that he's.
No, I don't. Okay, first thing, I can't prove anything to you.
So then, I could be right and you could be right.
We both could be. Yeah, of course we could. But
So I'm going to stick with my premise of if you can't prove to me that he's
Okay.
telling the truth,
Okay.
I'm going to stick to my premise that guy could be crazy.
so you believe he's crazy?
Well, all right, that guy's lying.
You believe he's lying?
I don't know. I want you to.
Right.
I want you
All right.
to.
Do you know what belief
convince
is?
me
Do you know what the belief?
that he's telling the
No. I
truth.
don't have to convince you anything. I just said convince you he's not lying. All right.
But I want you. I didn't say you need to. I said I want you to convince me that he's telling the truth. I want to embrace Islam.
okay.
But I can't until I know that it's the truth.
Do you accept that one of those four variables that I said to you is correct?
Yeah.
One of them has to be true, the reality. Like it, don't like it.
Yeah.
Wife has to cover up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. That's the reality. Yeah. All right. So what did we say? Crazy, delusional, lying, or telling the truth. So if I can dismiss crazy, delusional, and lying, then he has to be telling the truth, isn't it? I can't prove he's telling the truth. Yeah, I can't.
But if you can disprove.
No, what I can show you, what I can do is hear your claim. My claim, I believe he's telling the truth because I don't believe he lied, and I can give you my reasons, no problem. And I don't believe he was crazy, and I can give you my reasons, no problem. And I don't believe he was deceived, and I can give you my reasons, no problem. You're claiming he lied, so you need to give me your reasons why he lied. Now, but to know that, you need to know his social situation and what was his motivation to do what you're claiming he did. But you don't know that, and that's the problem. But we can waive that because I can dismiss all three anyway. Or what I can do, I can tell you why I don't believe the other three, yeah? All right, let's start with deception. The claim is what? The devil pretended to be an angel, came to the cave, imitated an angel to fool Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, that he's a messenger of God, and then to reveal for 23 years what he thought was from God was from the devil. Yeah? That's the deception claim. Why would the devil do that? Was my first question. Why would the devil go to a cave to speak to a pagan Arab? I wouldn't say he's pagan Arab, but basically in a place where they're worshipping idols, and tell them, stop worshipping idols, worship God. Worship the God of Abraham, yeah? And then start bringing all these guidances into them, warning them against the devil, telling them that he's accursed and stay away from him and whatever. Because one, the devil doesn't want you to believe God exists, and two, he doesn't want you to believe the devil exists. Because what did they say? Was it Kaiser Sose? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world he doesn't exist. So if the devil doesn't want the world to know he exists, the last thing he's going to do is produce a book convincing the world he exists. Just doesn't make no sense. And then guiding them towards all sorts of goodness.
Okay, but by guiding them to goodness, he also reveals himself as well, because you can't have good without bad.
No. Satan does not want people to know of his existence. Would you accept that?
No.
Oh, he does want people to know.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. If you were Satan,
Yeah.
and you don't want people to worship God, do you?
Okay.
You don't want people to worship God, do you? You don't want people to believe God exists,
Okay.
do you? Because you have to know what's Satan's plan.
Yeah.
And If you're Satan, you don't want people to know you exist, because then otherwise they're going to look out for you and they're going to try to avoid you, and they're going to avoid your traps. But if you don't know you've got an enemy, the enemy can assault you daily without you knowing it.
Yeah.
But once you know you've got an enemy, you're aware from it. You're looking for protection. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you look at the Quran, it's completely opposed to Satan.
Okay.
Curses him, tells you to seek refuge from him, tells you about God's existence, and all this destroys idolatry, all of these things. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for the devil to get Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, and give him a book to prove or to convince the people the devil exists and God exists, and to seek refuge, and it just makes no sense. Now, me personally, I can't believe that. You might be able to believe that, but I can't believe that. It makes no logical sense to me.
Well, it wouldn't make logical sense to us because we're just humans. We like trying to put human logic.
No, but you've got to justify it. You've got to justify it, and then look at the teachings.
Because it sounds like you're talking about two different football teams. Like
no. Let's establish something. Let's establish one thing. The God and the devil are not equals.
No,
we don't believe that. No. No, the devil's just a creation of God.
Okay.
Yeah. The devil needs permission to do anything.
Okay. So how do we measure what's good to what's bad? Like
what God says is good,
and what the devil does is bad.
No. No, it doesn't work that way.
No?
What God says is good, and what God says is bad is bad.
Okay.
The devil just inclines you towards the bad.
Okay.
The standard of good and bad is God. Nothing to do with the devil. All the devil can do is beckon and call you and whisper and try and trick you into it.
Okay, so now, hasn't the Quran beckoned all these people to it?
No. It's not beckoned you to worship the devil, has it?
If you believe, see, it's a deceiver. The devil's a deceiver.
No. Why
so
would
he's the deceiver and he's deceived you using the Quran? You could be unwillingly doing what he wants.
So I could be unwillingly worshipping God and cursing the devil.
Yeah, but at the same time, it could be what he wants. So he's existence.
So he wants me to worship God.
For his existence to exist, he might need.
He doesn't want me to know he exists.
Why doesn't he?
Because he's our enemy, and your enemy doesn't want you to know he exists.
You might be a big-headed person and just decide, I want everyone to know I exist. Otherwise, I can't.
Look, if you think you can justify what you're saying, look, I've given you my reasons for, yeah?
Yeah.
This is all about probabilities here.
Yeah.
So you think the devil's going to deceive? Yeah, give me your reasons.
Because how else would anyone know of their existence?
But the devil doesn't want you to know.
Why would God know their existence?
No.
Why would God want you to know?
No. That's different. The God wants you to stop worshipping statues and worship Him. That's why you go into a pagan Arabs.
Why? But if the statue's giving you a benefit and you are able to change yours, because you've got a belief system, you could be an alcoholic, yeah? And this statue, you've been told this statue, if you pray to it, if you worship it, it's going to stop you from being an alcoholic. And you stop being an alcoholic. Is that not a beneficial
Okay,
thing?
first thing, what did we say? Who do we worship? God Almighty, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but you just said God doesn't want you to worship a statue. But I'm
No,
just saying,
God wants you to worship Him.
Yeah.
Did you want to follow? Well, why?
example.
How are you going to follow guidance from a statue?
I'm not saying how or anything like
Well, you
that.
got to.
I'm just saying, what if
You got to justify what you're saying. You can't just say things.
I'm justifying it.
How is that justified?
Because the alcoholic has got refuge from this statue.
Okay, so what guidance is he getting from the statue?
Whatever guidance has stopped him from being
What guidance can a statue give you?
Same as a book.
No, a statue is a piece of stone. A book is information. What information can a statue give me? Or what?
So
Nothing.
a statue, see, like when you've got a statue here and there's a guy riding a horse and you know
Yeah?
who that statue.
What benefit is that to me?
No, but it does tell you the story of this person and blah blah blah.
No, it tells
what it means and what he did. So it does tell you stuff. Just
No.
like a book can.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't give me any guidance whatsoever.
I never said a guidance.
Well, the whole point is God's guidance, isn't it?
So, where was we?
Basically, you were trying to say that a statue can give you guidance in life. That's your point.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, no, yeah.
No. I'll
Yeah.
give you an example. If the statue did did do that.
Give me an example of a statue doing that.
No, I'm just saying for an example. See, like in.
What did I say to you earlier? Probabilities.
in,
Do you believe that? No, do you honestly believe that?
What?
What you're saying? Do you believe
No,
what
I'm
you're
not
saying?
saying that I believe that.
No, because here's the point. You see, I'm not interested in devil's advocacy. I'm interested in what you believe and why. And if you're going to make a claim of something, I want you to support it with rational reasons.
Okay,
right now, you're saying to me, God doesn't mind you worshipping statues because that statue might stop you being an alcoholic.
I'm saying, what problem does he have with you worshipping that statue? Why does he not?
Because he doesn't want you to worship pieces of rock.
Why?
Because they have no benefit to you.
Why not?
Because the whole point of worship is to receive guidance and benefit.
Yeah.
There's no benefit in a piece of rock.
But like I just said to you, if someone does get benefit from worshipping that
What
rock,
benefit? Some deception, some.
It could be a deception, but
Okay,
it's
well that's
still
not
a benefit.
Who says it's a benefit?
Because now that person isn't an alcoholic or whatever. Through worshipping this rock.
There's no guidance in that.
I know there's no guidance, but so I've come to you, yeah. You're an alcoholic, and I've promised you that if you worship this rock, you're going to stop becoming.
How's it going to stop me being alcoholic?
It's trust more than it's
It's more, yes. It's
Right, how's it going to stop me being alcoholic?
So now you're asking.
No, how's it going to stop me?
trust-
How's it going to stop me?
I'm not. I don't know.
Well, you just made the claim it will.
But the problem here, he'll always have that where he'll be able to go back to that alcohol because he'll have no guidance to keep him on the same
but
path.
there's-
Surely the alcoholic would say, why should I worship this rock?
Yeah, generally that's what a person would say.
Well, obviously rational.
What I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
is a hypothetical thing.
No, but we're dealing with a hypothetical here. So you tell this guy, if I came to you and say, look, your dad would not be an alcoholic if he'd have worshipped this stone. Your first question would be, why? What can the stone do for me?
No, I know that, but that's because we're talking about.
No, well, you
reality.
would-
I'm talking about a hypothetical thing.
Okay, in a hypothetical situation, if I said that to you, what would you ask me? You'd say to me, what power does a rock have?
So you go away.
Unless I was an idiot alcoholic who didn't care and just wanted to get off it and started praying.
But how is it going to stop you being an alcoholic?
Because you were there praying all the time.
How is that stopping you being an alcoholic?
Because you're there praying all the time. You ain't got time to go to the pub.
So you're saying to me, you have to
believe that this rock is doing it. to you,
No disrespect, but you're taking the hypothetical to the
I
ridiculous.
know.
You have. There's no practicality in what you're saying. Unless you're a monk in some garden and you stay there all day, that's another story. Yeah. But the point here is this. I don't believe, personally, you can believe what you like, mate. People believe in all sorts in this part, man. Yeah? People talk about invisible pink unicorns on Mars. But anyway, you have to justify what you're saying. Now, we can only go off probabilities. Now, I've explained to you why I don't believe the devil deceived Muhammad because of what the Quran says, and it completes the complete antithesis of what the devil stands for. Me personally, I think the devil wants chaos. The Quran brings order. I think the devil doesn't want people to know he exists. The Quran warns you against him and tells you to seek refuge from him. The devil doesn't want you to believe God exists. Yeah, and therefore, the Quran tells you to worship God. So, for the devil,
Has the Quran brought order in all the
Yeah, if you follow it.
Islamic
if you follow it, you'll have it. If you don't,
in all the Islamic
if you follow it. So for me personally, no, Muslims in the world today are not following the teachings of Islam. And when I say it's not just the Quran, you see, it's the Sunnah as well. It's the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his guidance. I told you what, he's the walking Quran. So you can't just the Quran blindly.
couldn't read or write.
Well, they say illiterate. I don't know what level of illiterate. Whether it's he couldn't write his name or whether he couldn't write a book. I don't know.
Was the book written after he passed?
The book was put together, compiled.
After he had passed.
Yes.
It's an oral trilogy.
Well, no, it was put together before he passed.
So it could be mistaken as well. Someone could have added.
If you want to make a claim of a mistake, you can do.
No, I'm just saying there's.
No, if you understood how it was compiled and the conditions of each ayat had to have 2 oral witnesses to the verse and written witnesses to the verse, and it had to be confirmed by the community. It was a community project. It wasn't one man putting it together. It was a community project. So you needed to have, so for example, one verse. You needed to have who heard that verse, who heard that verse. You needed to have multiple chains of.
So how long after did they compile it?
It would have been after he died when it was during the reign of it started off Abu Bakr, his daughter had one, and then Uthman, the third Caliph. So it's irrelevant. The point here is this: when the Quran was compiled, there was such strict conditions that went into it that the people who brought forward the verses had to be oral, different people orally and written, because the Prophet Muhammad SAW, when he recited a verse, he would call commissioned writers to record the verse, and non-commissioned writers would record the verse. Yeah, so it's another subject, and it's a huge subject, but it's quite easily done. That you quite easily seen, should I say, that the Quran today is what was revealed by Muhammad. Why? Because they're reciting it, so they're memorizing it. Yeah, if you change the Quran, you can't change the memory. Like they talk about the nonsense about the goat eating a verse of the Quran. How does that change the memory of the people who recorded the verse? Yeah, so if I heard a verse of the Quran was a community project put together. It was under strict condition, and like I say, people memorize the Quran from Morocco to China, and you can go hear the Quran wherever you go in the world today, and it's the same Quran. There is no difference. Alhamdulillah. Now the claim of Muhammad, like I say, is what he got this from God. I'm sorry, mate. I'm taking deception away. So we're left with crazy delusional. Well, the question needs to be asked: could a crazy delusional have come up with this? The very simple answer is no. And for people to follow it, no. For people to be persecuted for it, no. For him to be known for 40 years as an honest man, and then all of a sudden what he's going to do lally and stuff, and people are listening to it, no. I don't buy that. If you want to make the claim, bring your evidence, I don't mind. You give me your reasons for it. We'll go with probabilities again. Personally, I don't get it. The only one you could truly bring to the table is a liar. Only one, to be honest with you. Delusional doesn't wash, nor does... Because 23 years he's got to be delusional for. He's got to hold it together for 23 years. If you heard the Quran over 6 months or something like that, you could probably get away with it. 23 years after battles and this and that, and he's still delusional? Come on, don't buy it, mate. So you're left with a liar. Now, to understand the lying claim, you need to understand his social condition. So he's married to the richest woman in Mecca. So he has no problem with dough. His uncles are the custodian of the Kaaba. So he has no problem with status. He's known for 40 years as the one to tell the truth. The one who would arbitrate between warring tribes who disputes because they trusted his judgment. Why would he lie? Why would he go down and break the status quo? Why would he put his whole life in threat? Why would he get the people who followed him persecuted? Why would people follow a lie? Why? What was his motivation? He was told...
It elevates his personal status, no?
No, he didn't. It lowered his status. It lowered his status. He had status.
He had more followers before.
No. He was in a city where he was married to the richest woman, and his uncles were the custodian of the Kaaba. Now, the Kaaba made its money how? From pilgrims coming to Mecca?
So his wife was the richest.
One of the richest women in Mecca. Yeah,
So
Khadija.
then he might have felt inferior to her for a start because she's got all this money and he doesn't.
Did he ever imply he was? No.
Yeah.
Did he ever make this implication?
Would you? Would you go around saying, "Oh, I'm jealous of my missus. She makes more money than me"?
People do, yeah.
Would you?
No, but you've got to understand his character, isn't it? It's like me saying to you, the Queen got caught last night burgling a house. Would you believe it?
I wouldn't say. If there was evidence to support it, then yeah.
You'd believe it.
If there was evidence to supput it,
What?
I mean, there's a. I'm just giving you a reason.
So you're telling me if I said to
just
you...
giving you a reason of why he might have.
So you're saying to
tried
me,
elevate
if I said to you today, did you hear about the Queen last night? She got caught burgling a house. Your first response would be, why would the Queen burgle a house?
Obviously.
First of all, her character's not a burglar. No. But we are. When you hear that, and it's preposterous, yeah, it's the same.
But what I just said wasn't preposterous. You said
No.
there's people today that are
Listen,
married-
I'm saying to you, when I said, the Queen got caught burgling a house last night, to you that sounded ridiculous. When you talk about Muhammad, yeah, that he was jealous of his missus, yeah?
I said it's a possibility.
All right, I think exactly the same thought as you when you thought about the Queen. Because of his character. It's out of his character. This is not an abstract guy. This is a guy we know all about. Yeah, we know his nature is not that. But when you talk about Muhammad, yeah, because we know his nature,